Coke button is back. He's also got, this time he's got a chalupa cannon and a McNugget knob, too. And he has another little button to lock the door when he hears Elon coming. The new regime has already redecorated the Oval Office. They moved in a bust of Winston Churchill, a portrait of Andrew Jackson, and this was smart. They put plastic covers on the couch in case J.D. Vance gets a little too lovey-dovey. Elon Musk reportedly badgered Trump into giving him an office in the West Wing. It's kind of a tough situation for Trump because, on the one hand, you know he can't stand this guy.
Did you hear about Trump's latest executive order? Apparently, he's trying to make fried chicken the new national bird. I guess eagles were just too fake news for his taste. But wait, there's more. He's also issued an arrest warrant for 3 women from The View.
He should resign then, right? I mean, we are in a very weird, precarious time in the history of our country. Have Donald Jocelyn Trump. Only 1,459 days to go. It's been 24 hours since he was sworn in. Already Donald Trump has ended the war in Ukraine on day 1. Half of us are worried Trump won't do the things he promised. The other half are worried he will do those things. I'm in the latter category. We're not even a day in. He's already done there's so many terrible deeds.
Is this the presidency or a really bad reality TV show? Stick around as we dive into the circus that is Trump's return to the White House. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Who's back in the White House, you ask?
But he's also done some fun things, like when he said this, and I want you to listen closely here, because the question is, does he say every day we get some penis?
Every single day we get subpoenas.
As is tradition for every incoming president, Trump has a new portrait. He posed for this menacing photo. It goes up at every post office, every airport. That spray tan scowl will be glaring at you.
Donnie Diapers, our old friend, is redecorating more quickly than you can say supersized meal deal. It appears that the Oval Office underwent some rather intriguing changes on Trump's first day back. I mean, completely crazy when I say interesting. As everyone is aware, Trump is not just acting like a Churchill bust. He has some absurd ideas that would cause even Ronald McDonald to pause. Imagine couches covered in plastic because the head of the free world seems to be concerned about spills. But there's still more. Nothing says presidential like having fizzy drinks available whenever you want them. So the infamous Diet Coke button is back.
Traditionally, the outgoing president will leave a letter for the incoming president. Obama left a note for Trump. Trump left one for Biden, but no one knew if Biden left one for Trump until Trump was sitting at his desk and a Fox News reporter asked about it. On the other hand, he needs his money. It's what they call a Melania's dilemma. I don't know how long this is going to last, but can you imagine how annoying it's going to be for the White House IT guy?
Did President Biden leave you a letter?
He may have. Wait. Don't they leave it in the desk? I don't know. Oh, maybe we should all read it together.
Let's read it.
Well, maybe I'll read it first and then make that determination.
That sounds great.
Peter, thank you very much. I may not have seen this for months.
But that's not even the most insane part, so keep your MAGA hats on, people. According to reports, Trump has installed a chalupa cannon. Yes, you heard correctly, a weapon for the chalupas. Since you can get fast food with a Mexican flair right across the room, why walk all the way to Taco Bell? He seems to be getting ready for a culinary altercation with foreign dignitary. If the mere thought of it wasn't enough to make your arteries clog, there's also talk of a McNugget knob. I'm not sure about you, but I can picture Trump turning it as if he were changing the temperature, and then a perfectly crispy nugget comes out. The true query is whether a variety of dipping sauces are included. Consider the potential international commotion that could result from a diplomatic meeting where there is no more sweet and sour sauce. The crucial question now is whether the White House will now have a drive-through odor. The place will undoubtedly smell like a mall food court because of the chalupas flying through the air and the steady flow of nuggets.
His way through a service held in his honor at the Washington National Cathedral. They should have let him bring his sword in to play with to keep him.
Liberty in our land. Fill them with the love of truth and strength to uphold our democracy and the rule of law.
Donald Trump, as anyone named Donald Trump will tell you, loves the Lord, he loves church, he loves to worship, he loves the Bible, and most of all, he loves the Lord's Prayer.
The smell of Trump's fast food fantasy is stronger than any air fresheners that poor Joe Biden likely left lying around. Our grumpy Trumpy appears to be converting the White House into his own fast food restaurant. When you can have a McFlurry machine in the East Room, why would you need state dinners? I wouldn't be shocked if he started holding press conferences in a huge bounce house shaped like a hamburger and swapped out the Rose Garden for a ball pit. It appears that our commander-in-cheeseburger has been quite busy. Everyone. Trump has been using his pen like a magic wand, even though we thought he was just redecorating the White House with golden arches. And he's been doing some spells, boy. Trump has issued more than 100 executive orders in a single day, more scribbling than a toddler holding a brand new crayon box. These aren't your typical doodles, though. Sadly, some of these presidential doodles are more erratic than Trump's hair during a windstorm. To begin with, Trump has chosen to give Big Pharma an early Christmas gift. Joe Biden's executive order that was intended to reduce the cost of prescription drugs for people on Medicare and Medicaid has been revoked. I suppose Trump thinks you can always try one of his miracle cures if you can't afford your medications. A bleach cocktail, anyone? But there's still more. Trump has declared fried chicken to be the new national bird, a decision that would have pleased Colonel Sanders. There's a new bird in town, and it comes in a bucket, so get out of your way, bald eagle. I'm eager to see the new presidential seal. Perhaps it will show a gravy boat with 2 drumsticks crossed over it. As if things couldn't get any stranger, Trump chose to play get out of jail free with roughly 1,600 participants in the Capitol riots on January 6th. Yes, including those who assaulted law enforcement. What better way to demonstrate law and order than to pardon those who attempted to topple the government? Hey, isn't this a bit much for one day? Is what some of you may be asking yourself. Let me remind you though, that when it comes to executive orders, our Donnie Diapers has always been an overachiever. In his final term as president, he was signing these documents more quickly than he could say fake news. He changed immigration laws, pulled us out of international agreements, and essentially treated Congress as an optional body. Folks, here's the real kicker. Trump has been busy converting the White House into his own rubber stamp factory, but he has also been at odds with the church. The fact that our orange turd must remove his MAGA hat during services seems to be bothering him. I suppose he believes that Trump can transform a place of worship into a campaign rally, just as Jesus was able to transform water into wine. People, it appears that the White House has become a living, breathing Grumpy Trumpy's fast food fiesta. The first 24 hours of our orange-tinted friends' return to work were a combination of church tantrums and executive orders driven by hamburgers. You have to ask yourself, is this the center of American power, or is this just a bizarre Kitchen Nightmares episode? There is no doubt that late-night comedians are licking their chops now that Donnie Diapers is back in charge. According to one host, the bully is back at his pulpit and his Sharpies are fatter than ever before. For these comedians, Trump has given them an endless supply of political comedy gold, making it feel like Christmas arrived early. So America, fasten your seatbelt. We're gonna have a crazy ride because of Trump's erratic behavior. I'm getting heartburn from all this talk about fast food, so don't forget to bring some Tums.